everybody, this is Tracy here for another edition of A View from Tracy's Point, and we are here to recap Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 10, Episode 13, which was titled Livin la Vida Loca. So the ladies arrived in Barcelona and seemed to be quite loud, just being their normal selves. And I mean, they were quite excited about being there. And so it's the first time that all of them have been to Barcelona. And Cynthia says that she has a 50 cents bucket list challenge for the ladies. So I guess she's still celebrating her 50th birthday. So some of the things were swap personalities for a day, which I guess you pretend to be one of the other ladies in the group. You pinch a man on the butt, like go up to some random man, and you dance in public. Those were the three that I remember. So Marlo says that she's going to teach Kandi some etiquette so she can get a personality. So before they can switch personalities with Kandi first got to have a personality. So then Shamia asked what happened to Kenya and Kim, why they aren't on the trip. So NeNe lets them know that Kim and RHOA are codependent on each other. So because RHOA couldn't come, Kim decided she wasn't going to come. Then she started listing all the ailments that Kim claims that she has, because remember Kim said that the reason she needed RHOA to come was because she, in case she had a medical emergency, that RHOA would know what to do. So NeNe crazy behind talking about Kim has been through so much in her life with her sicknesses and illnesses that she should be thanking God every day and every opportunity that she has to do something fun, like go on a trip to Barcelona, that she should be taking advantage of it. NeNe say Kim done had blood clots, heart attacks, open heart surgery, cancer, she had thyroid issues, and something else she said, but she had like this laundry list of stuff that she claimed that Kim has been through. So then Eva, who I forgot was coming on the trip with them, they finally put the camera on her. So Eva says that modeling has taught her a lot about, dealing with catty women. So she's just going to give them the side eye and keep being cute. So I was like, I don't know if Eva regretting joining the cast, or if she just don't have time for it, that she already over it like Kim Fields was, but she was kind of low-key on this episode. So they arrived at what I thought was the Airbnb suite that Cynthia had gotten them. So I must have been writing when they had said where it was that they were, but they were in like this really nice place that was high up because they were looking down on the city. And they had all this food laid out for them and drinks. I think they had like wine and champagne. So I totally missed where it was that they were, because throughout most of the show, I thought that that was where they were staying until Cynthia said that they were on their way to their villa. So when they got to the place, they started, they was like all giddy about how nice the place looked, and they wanted to take pictures. So everybody was doing like their selfies, but then when it was time for Eva to take her picture, she acted like she was on an episode of America's Next Top Model, the way she was posing and looking all out in the distance and everything. I was like, girl, are you serious? So Kandi announces that NeNe will be going on tour with Escape. Remember they had, I think they did maybe 1 or 2 shows before NeNe lost her mind and told the lady in the audience that she hopes she gets raped by her Uber driver on the way home. So it's just so funny to have like how the timing goes on the show from when they were filming to things that happened after the fact. So the ladies are sitting around talking when the subject turns to how they all to whether or not they've all had sexual relations with women. it was just so random. I don't know, but I guess it was the lead in for Miss Shamia, because then Shamia asked Eva to tell her a little bit about herself. So Eva shares that she's dating the guy Michael Sterling, who is running for mayor of Atlanta, but we already know that he dropped out of the race before the actual election in November. And she says that she has a daughter, you know, from her sperm donor, Kevin McCall, but I don't think she ever mentioned his name. She just called him the donor. And then Shamia asked Eva if her man was okay with her dating women, or, you know, having been in relationships with women. And Eva was looking so confused at that moment. She was like, what? Like, what? And then Shamia was like, oh, well, I'm not trying to be funny, but I read in the blogs that Eva and Missy Elliott were seeing each other. And I was like, Shamia, maybe you need to stay at the blogs. And I just can't even believe, well, I guess it would be human nature for them to be reading the blogs to find out what people are saying about them. But I think that would just like really drive me crazy. And that seems to be all Shamia had to talk about, is what she done read in the blogs. So maybe she need to put the blogs down. So then, to break up the tension, Cynthia says that hooking up with a woman wasn't on the 50 cents challenge, so she don't even know why they talking about it. And then Cynthia and Kandi have like a weird exchange, and Kandi says that they'll know when her and Cynthia hook up, because Cynthia will be defending her the same way that she's defending Will, which was the lead in for them to start talking about Will. So the subject goes to Will, and the women, you know, they pretty much gang up on Cynthia. But for some reason, Cynthia says that she's less likely to believe Portia, because Portia has lied to her before about Peter. And then Cynthia gets all defensive with Portia, and I'm just like, why you get mad at Portia when you were the one that said, if anybody else knows anything about Will, speak up, you know, I want to know, tell me. And that's all Portia was doing. So of all the women who have spilled tea on Will, you know, like I say, Cynthia's only mad at Portia. So Portia says, the hell with you, Cynthia. So she thought her and Cynthia, you know, were moving forward after the Houston trip and Cynthia coming to the vegan party. But now she sees that, you know, it wasn't that at all. And she doesn't understand why Cynthia, you know, was being so nice to her. So then Marlo jumps in and tells the ladies that they need to cool it, stop with the arguing, that ain't what they're there for. So Eva apologizes for the role she played, and Cynthia accepts her apology, saying that she thought that Eva was just being messy at the party, and why, you know, was she even inserting herself in the whole situation with her and Will. And she says that pretty much that, you know, she's only concerned that Will is dating somebody right now, and that, you know, she pretty much wants the ladies to get out of her business. So Cynthia says that she's had enough. And she wants, she had planned a sightseeing tour, you know, for the ladies. So she wanted them to all just, let's go get on the bus and enjoy the city. So on the bus, Kandi starts talking about teabagging and asks Cynthia, you know, how many balls has she had in her mouth at one time. I'm just like, what is wrong with Kandi? Is she horny? Do she need to, like, take a trip back home? Did she not have sex with Todd before they left? Like, I didn't understand where all the sex questions were coming from. And it just feeds into that whole thing that make women look like they're just over-sexualized. Like, all black women ever think about is screwing all the time. And if you watch my recaps of To Wrong with Love, like, they have the same situation going on, where all of a sudden everything is like sex, 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 sex. I'm like, dang, what is wrong with y'all? And what other show, I think on Married to Medicine, they be talking about, you know, sex and being sex deprived all the time. So y'all need to focus on some, either get laid or focus on something else. So they end up at this place that they were supposed to have been going to see. And I can't remember if it was a church or a museum or what it was. But it didn't matter, because they didn't get to go inside, because Cynthia didn't check the times that you could visit the place. So it was closed for the day. And, you know, Portia was like, oh my God, like, she didn't check the time. Like, we're going to need her to get on her game and be better about planning this stuff. So then Shamia ended up doing a dance, because remember, one of the 50 cents challenges was to dance in public. So Shamia, you know, she's doing this dance. I don't know exactly. It was like a mixture of on the pole, hip hop, and ballet. I don't know what was going on. So NeNe made the comment that she heard that Shamia was a professional dancer, but the moves she was making wouldn't work in the strip club where she used to work at. So I was like, okay, well, did Shamia used to be a stripper, or was she really, really like a professional dancer? Like she danced in videos or something? I don't know. But all I could think on this episode was that Shamia was working on that peach. Her and Marlo was working on their peach on this episode. So Andy, go ahead and add a couple of more women to the cast. So Cynthia says that they are going to head on over to the villa, you know, where they will be staying. And hell, like I said, I thought the place they went to at the beginning when they first left the airport was the villa. So let's see what we got in store for the ladies. Because remember, I think she was doing the Airbnb with the Groupon, and NeNe didn't think it was going to go too well. Like clockwork, they get to the house. And it was a huge house, and I think everybody had their own bedroom. And of course, the ladies, you know, get the bickering about the bedrooms and who gets the bedrooms with the bathroom, because I don't think all of them had a bathroom. The room that Kandi chose was on the top level. It had a bathroom. It had a balcony. Actually, it had a patio. Like you could actually go out there and have several people out there, and had like a table and chairs and stuff like that. So, of course, NeNe was not happy about that. And actually, none of the ladies were happy about the house. Like the house was, it looked like a house that somebody lived in. They had some weird decorating taste going on, but it's Airbnb. And I told y'all in my last week recap, I'm not trying to do Airbnb because I keep hearing these stories about how people be having hidden cameras in their houses, and then they be selling your video, or you screwing to the porn sites, to the amateur porn sites. So, I mean, the fact that they even agreed to go to the Airbnb surprised me, but they did point out that had Kim came, that she would not have stayed at the house. She would took one look at that house, and then she would have left and went and got her a hotel room. And then as the ladies, you know, when they first got to the house and they talking about the decorations and that they couldn't believe Cynthia had them staying there, you know, Bravo being shady Bravo as usual, they start showing clips from the trip to Africa, you know, where they had this really nice house that they were living in. So then NeNe doesn't want to share a bathroom. You know, she was very clear about that. And then, like I said, Kandi grabbed the best room. So then the ladies, you know, they start bickering about the rooms. And then Sheree went into the room that Kandi had chosen and said that that was her room. And then Portia came in and she wanted the room, but Sheree said, no, you can't have this room. So then Portia goes downstairs and says she'll take the room that Sheree had initially said she wanted. But then when Sheree found out that that was Kandi's room, then she tried to kick Portia out of the room that she had previously selected. But Portia was like, no, I'm not going nowhere. I'm staying here. Finders keepers. You left. You gave the room up. So now you need to go find somewhere else to stay. So with all the back and forth going on, NeNe, you know, she gets bothered. And we get a flashback to when they went on the trip to Savannah. And remember, they was fighting all over the rooms and didn't want to stay in rooms with different people and stuff. So then NeNe tells Cynthia that they need to boot Shamia and Kandi off the top level where the best rooms were. So then they have a group meeting, and you know, they tell Kandi that they think that the more mature women should be on the top level. Then the next, I can't remember what she called the next group of women, but they should be on the middle level. And then the younger women like Portia and Shamia, they should be on the bottom level. So Kandi was like, no, I'm not changing rooms. Miss me with that whole age thing. And then NeNe, you know, NeNe brought up the part about the mature women, but then she got upset when Kandi mentioned age. So then Marlo tried to jump in and ask Kandi, well, what's it going to be? Are you going to move? And Kandi stood firm and was like, no, I'm not going anywhere. And then Marlo was like, Kandi is a spoiled brat. And then I don't know what Marlo got in for Kandi, but throughout the whole day, she just kept making jabs at Kandi about her personality and the way Kandi treats people. So then the ladies, you know, they decide to break and go to their rooms, you know, so they can prepare for dinner, because it was obvious that the conversation wasn't going anywhere. And then I think they were all they were going to stay in for dinner. They weren't going to go out. and they were supposed to dress in their night clothes. So then Shamia comes down to Portia's room, and she got on this hideous looking pink outfit. I don't know what in the world it was supposed to be. It looked like it was really thick, like it was made out of wool or fleece or something. And then it was these big sleeves, and then I think the midriff was open, but then the legs had like a gap this big where the knee was, and like a little string holding the bottom of the pants leg to the top of the pants leg. But she thought she was looking good. So then Portia was also wearing pink, so they was like, you know, oh, besties thinking alike. So then they get to talking, and Portia was in there studying her play, because remember, she's going to play Kandi from Two Can Play This Game. And she says that rehearsals start like the day after they get back from the Barcelona trip. Then Portia shares with Shamia that she was really hurt by the way that Cynthia came for her regarding the whole Will situation. And Shamia asks, you know, why is she still wearing her shades? Because Portia hadn't took her shades off the whole time. So she admits that she has an eye infection from the eyelash glue that her makeup person uses. And I'm just like, y'all be doing too much. Y'all gluing the hair to your head. You're gluing your eyelashes on, not stuff getting in your eyes, and you got the pink eye. Like, is it really worth it? Is the beauty really worth all of that? So while Portia and Shamia are talking, Sheree comes in, and so they get to talking about Kim, and you know, that's when they were saying that Kim would have left the hotel, left the Airbnb and gone and got a hotel room. And then I'm sitting there saying, well, if that's what Kim would have did and y'all hate the house that much, why don't y'all go do it? Is it because Kim has more money? Like, I didn't even understand that comparison. So then they decided that they're going to call Kim and let Kim know that Kenya didn't come either. So when they get on the phone, they tell Kim, you know, that NeNe was talking about her and saying that the reason she didn't come was because, you know, she doesn't want to leave RHOA. Then Portia act like she wants to say something to Kim, but says, you know, it's a private thing and she'd rather talk to Kim alone. And then Sheree was like, no, go ahead. You know, what is it? You can say anything in front of us. So then Portia kind of acted like she's trying to be empathetic to Kim's illnesses that NeNe said she had. And she was like, I didn't know you were a cancer survivor, and you know, I know what that's like, and you know, if you ever need to talk. And then Kim was like, I am not a cancer survivor. So then Portia was like, you're not? So then they basically tell her everything that NeNe said. So then Kim gets upset. She goes ballistic and then tells them about NeNe and the handicap pliker. And I was just like, why is it bothering her so much that NeNe had that handicap placard and was parked in that handicap spot? Because people do that all the time. And I mean, like, my mom has a handicap placard. I think they had one from when my dad was alive. And trust me, if I could have got my hand on that placard, I probably would have used that placard too. But people do that all the time, so I don't know why they're trying to make an issue out of it. Then over in, was it Cynthia's room? I can't remember whose room it was, but it was Cynthia, Marlo, and NeNe. So they're in there talking, and Marlo is basically telling Cynthia that, you know, she needs to be mindful of the way she reacts whenever people start talking about Will. Because basically, it's not a good look that you, like, not in a real relationship with this man, but you getting upset and angry and coming for people because they're telling you information that you said you would. When Eva told the information, Cynthia wasn't expecting the information. But then after that, she said she wanted to know. So now she's mad at Portia for telling her. And then I think Marlo told her something that she had heard right in last week's episode. Marlo told her what she had heard about the guy. So I don't know why Cynthia is tripping. Then NeNe, you know, she's the little sidekick. So she throws in, well, you know, Portia did gossip about Peter. Then she says that she didn't appreciate Kandi talking about age and not giving up the room. And I'm like, NeNe, what is wrong with you, girl? Like, you going through the change of life. So the ladies go down for dinner, and NeNe assigns Marlo and Portia to be the bartenders and was like, okay, now y'all go fix us some drinks. I was like, but they didn't complain. They went and did it. And Lord, they have a blonde wig where Kim would have been sitting had she came on the trip. So after they all get their drinks and they're seated, you know, the ladies ask Portia about the shades that she has on. So she tells them that, she has an infection and basically that she's allergic to latex. I don't know if latex is in the glue that they glue the eyelashes on or what, but Kandi was looking all confused and she was like, so you don't use condoms? Like, what's that all about? Then Portia was like, no, I only sleep with married men. So I don't know if it was some editing going on because Portia, everybody was looking at Portia like, what the hell is you talking about? So I don't know what that was all about, Portia. Then Cynthia tells Kandi that NeNe was hurt about her comment regarding age, but it was NeNe was the one that was talking about the mature ones. Then NeNe goes in on Shamil for joining in, and Shamil said something about the elders should say the grace over the food. So basically, they were arguing about the terms that are used to talk about an older person. So, you know, mature, elder, and stuff like that. And I'm just like, but NeNe, you started the whole thing by saying that the mature women should be up on the top floor. So NeNe decides that she's going to say grace over the food. And it was the funniest prayer. And she was like, Lord, you know I can go from 0 to 100. And right now I am well past 0. So these ladies better leave me alone. And I was just like, NeNe, let it go. So then Marlo goes in on Kandi again, saying that, you know, she's dry and lacks personality. And then Kandi tries to defend herself. And then Cynthia asks if Kandi has a problem with being called dry. I was like, who wants to be told that you're dry and don't have personality? So that whole thing was real stupid. So in her confessional, Cynthia says that Kandi has been dry as hell ever since they met, and she doesn't know why Marlo felt the need to bring it up because they had all learned to deal with Kandi and her non-personality self. The ladies are talking about Portia's vegan party and what a good time they had, and you know how relaxed it was, and I guess it was like some debate about whether the food was good or not. So then they kept putting the camera, I think it was on Marlo. So Marlo was looking down at her phone, reading a text message. So then we learned that Kim done sent everybody this text message going in on NeNe. And she was saying basically, you know, she appreciated NeNe talking about her health issues and lying about her having cancer. And then she says that Brielle was at NeNe's house and that there was roaches in the bathroom. And then she posts the video that Brielle had posted on Snapchat or Instagram or wherever she loaded that video. So Cynthia asks how Kim knew about what was said about the illnesses. So then Sheree admits that she carried the bones back. And so I was like, oh my God, y'all are so messy. So then NeNe like goes off and says that everything in her house is brand new and Kim and her daughter are nasty and that she can't believe that they said that. Like NeNe, all NeNe heard was the roaches and the handicap placard. Like she seemed to have totally missed the part about Kim saying about the illnesses and making the connection that, hey, somebody had to say that from this group because I just said that about the illnesses. But Cynthia was trying to get her back on track. But NeNe's head was spinning around and she was talking about that was Greg's handicap placard, and the reason she was parked in the handicap spot was because Greg was with her, and she was like, Kim is a lying bitch. And I was like, no, she said Kim is a nasty bald-headed lying bitch. I was like, oh my God, these women are so crazy. Like, you're in Spain. Why y'all letting Kim get in the middle of y'all trip? And Sheree, why did you even have to call Kim and tell Kim anything? Portia, you should have just kept your mouth shut and wait till you got back to the United States to talk to Kim and tell Kim that you understand, and if she ever needed anybody to talk about, you know, being a survivor, that you were there for her, because all this that's going on right now made no sense. Well, that's it for me, guys. Let me know what you thought about this episode. Leave your comments below, rate the video, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I hope everyone has a fabulous week. And until the next time, I shall talk to you later. Bye-bye.